Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to try to speak so you can hear me clearly. But I'm down to another coffee shop. Only I'm not in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm coming to you from Harrisburg, Indiana. I think I got that kind of backwards. I'm not in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I am in Valparaiso, Indiana. I am back in Indiana for a week. This is likely to be the last week I'm ever going to be in Indiana. I won't say never, but I don't think if I do come back to Indiana, I'll ever spend another week here. And I don't see myself coming back anytime in the near future. So, one of the reasons I'm back is we're in the process of selling our house. We've had our house for 16 years, but my daughter's getting ready to go off to college in the fall, and there'll only be one person living in it, so we decided to put it on the market and make what we can off the sale, and we're hoping to make actually about $50,000 off the sale, so that can help me get a little out of debt. Oh, the fan just shut off there. So there's other things going on too. And tomorrow I'll be going down to Indianapolis to see my therapist. It's likely the last time we'll have a face-to-face. And I thought I'd let her know, just how I'm doing. Show her I'm not completely crazy. I already had a couple of bad moments since I got out here. I actually had one breakdown yesterday because I went to try on sports bras. And I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I was looking at the Reebok. And they're telling me, the large will actually the medium will fit you because they're designed to fit women with a 44 to 46 inch chest. And I measured at a 42B. It's my bra size. I tried both a medium and a large, and I could not get them on. Part of the problem is once I start pulling them over, they curl up underneath, and I can't get it uncurled because everything is so tight. And I was extremely upset when I got out. And I got home, and I'm like, I hate my body and everything else. And, realizing I'm like every woman in the world. I hate the way I look sometimes. So, one of the things I'm doing down here, besides cutting a video, let me see if I can get it out. I just knocked all my stuff on the floor. Yes. Hold on a second. There, I'm back. I knocked my purse and my computer bag on the floor, and so I wanted to get those out without tearing everything up. But one of the things I'm going to do is I have a starter roller derby new skater packet. See? I am officially, I'm part of hard. I'm a hard chick. A hard sore chick. I have been sore since I came out here, and my shoulders were hurting yesterday. So they have some links in here for equipment, and once I get back to Harrisburg, I think I'm just going to ensue looking at crap out here. So I think I will peruse the equipment list that we have in our skater pack here and order some things when I get back, because I'm going to need sports bras. I'm going to need tank tops because it's summer. It's going to be hot. One of the things we were told is that while we pay for rental for the skating rink, we don't pay for the AC to be on. Whoops. So we don't pay for the AC to be on, so it's gonna get kind of testy in there. Bring lots of water, hydrate, and dress lightly. I'm thinking of getting, like, really seriously, just like getting a pair of, like, booty shorts to wear when I'm skating, and then putting on, like, a pair of bike shorts, or, you know, something short, something that's going to come up over my knees. I really think I'm going to need that. And the AC just kicked back on. And I'll likely get some capris so that, you know, I have some, well, I'll have knee protection because I'm going to have knee pads on. I've decided that I will stick with it for the first month. And the chances are pretty good that I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, I like it. I will, you know, start paying my dues. Because one of the things that I want to do is I want to be able to have a sense of accomplishment. I may not be up to the same physical stamina and energy levels that some of the other women are, but I want to try to at least prove to myself that I can do it. And one of the things that I'm also looking at is it's going to be a way of getting a good workout 2-3 times a week. So, you know, I figure right now I'll go 2 times a week. There's a Tuesday training session that's for all the new meat like me. I'm new meat, and I'm gonna try my damnedest. I'm considering going out with them to their first an away game at the end of this month, simply because, one, I want to get a feel for what it's like to go out and do that. I don't want to wait until the home game, which is like, you know, another month and a half away. Which, by the way, I have to be there. In all home games, the freshies like me, we have to actually show up. It's required. And 2, I'm actually going to start blogging this. All my derby experiences I'm going to start putting down on my blog. And I even, driving out here Saturday, I thought, you know, this would be a good experience to see how far I can take it. And if I can go all the way, I mean, even like skate in a competition, or maybe even ref one or something like that, you know, there could be a book in it. I mean, that's how, actually, the movie Whip It, which is famous, it was directed by, now I can't think of her name, the little E.T., Drew Barrymore. She directed it, and Ellen Page was in it. And that was actually based off of a book of a woman who wrote of her experiences when she was in Derby in Texas. So, you know, maybe people will want to read about some old trans bitch who tried out for roller derby when she should have been, like, taking up crocheting or something like that. You know, that's what my friends are taking. My friends take up crocheting and knitting and stuff like that. I take up roller derby. Yeah. I'm insane. So, you know, and all the while I'm driving out here Saturday, I'm sort of like, yeah, you better start also stocking up on, like, ice packs, bandages, heat packs, because you're gonna be sore. I need to get ibuprofen and a lot of other things too. So, you know, I am already of the opinion that, yeah, I'm gonna be sore. I'm gonna be hurt. My shoulders are just now getting back to the point where they're not sore. And like I said, I had to ice this shoulder down the other night because it was just killing me. So, but like I said, the first month I'm gonna suck. But I want to keep at it. I really do. I know, insane. Insane in the brain. Insane in the membrane. But yeah, for right now, I'm a member. I'm fresh meat. I don't want to become stale meat. I want to get good. And I really want to work hard at it. I'm generally like that. Sometimes in the past I used to give up pretty easily on stuff. And I don't want to do that anymore. I feel like I've went through too many failures in my life. And I've got a lifetime that's defined by failure. I don't want this to be a failure. I really want to keep going. If it gets to the point where they say, you just can't do it because you don't have the strength or you don't have the stamina or you don't have the coordination, that's fine. At least let me give it a shot. So, at least let me write about it. So you'll start seeing those posts pop up on my website, on my blog, every once in a while. You see anything with hard on it, I'm talking about being a roller derby girl. And by the way, I have my derby name. I do have a derby name. Yes, I thought it up on the way out here. So I have my derby name. That if I ever get that far, that's what you'll hear me call. I'm not telling you what it is, not yet. So yeah, I gotta have to. You can sit and guess and wait. I don't give a shit. You can sit and guess all you want while you wait. So, last night I actually started on the next scene in the novel, which I'm not posting an excerpt today, and I likely will not post an excerpt tomorrow because I actually have to be on the road by 8:30 in the morning so I can go to Indianapolis. So it's likely I might do my first derby post tomorrow, and chances are pretty good you're not going to see an excerpt until Wednesday. By that time, I hope to have maybe 2,000 or 3,000 words more, so I'm ahead of you. And I also have to write my Fear the Walking Dead post this week as well. I've got 2 hours worth of shows that I watched last night that I have to put together. And fortunately, I took a lot of notes last night. Actually, about 3,500 words worth of notes. I watched television while, speaking on my computer, which comes in real handy. So I hope I can slap that together rather quick. But you got to see Carrie finally lay the smackdown on Frankie. Frankie blasts him, burns off his eyebrow. I actually got kind of yelled at by Rennie. She yelled at me. She's like, "Damn, Cassie, you burned off his eyebrow. How could you do that?" I'm mean. I treat my kids like shit. I really do. But it makes them that much stronger. One of the later scenes, not the scene I'm working on, but the last scene in this chapter, will be a conversation between Annie and Carrie. And Annie will actually bring up the fact that 2 years earlier, Carrie would have done anything to avoid getting into that fight. In fact, that if you remember, Carrie was kind of like, I don't care if you call me a shithead or anything like that. He would just kind of walk away from anything where people were trying to get a rise out of him. And then you begin to see that change just a little bit in the B novel after, he'd almost died a couple of times. I still say it's debatable whether or not he would have actually confronted Frankie the way he did if it were not for the hormonal rage going on inside of his body. But if Frankie had called him out, he would not have backed down, and he didn't. And the thing. People said, I was asked, did Frankie and Lisa watch Annie and Carrie do that zombie test? And yes, they did. They were there. Did they learn anything from that zombie test? No, they didn't. And that's probably why Frankie didn't really do anything that was against the rules. I mean, it was like he said, oh, well, yeah, I can get spellcasters. But he didn't tell Ramona about it. Oops. Gee, I forgot. He didn't tell Ramona about it. And so, he triggered the effect early, and as you saw, he got a penalty for it. And Ramona was pissed. Ramona basically was like, yeah, you're getting in the ring. I don't give a shit. You're going to fight. Which she's allowed to do. And if you noticed during that whole thing, she was like trying to cut Kerry as much slack as possible. You're hurt. I want you to go to the hospital. Okay, but you're going to have to get up and do this on your own. If you can't get up, I'm sending you to the hospital. She told him the way it was going to be, and he didn't argue with her. He was cool with it all. But, Ramona probably, she's been teaching these kids for, over 2 years now. She knows what they're capable of doing. And Kerry didn't need real magic. He used 2 spells. One was simply a toss-off. Illumination is something that these kids do without even thinking about. It's like when they wave doors open and close. It's just like... and the biggest spell he had was his time spell, which he probably had planned that for a while and was already visualizing it. So all he needed was just to be able to push the pain aside long enough to pull that spell together. But the reason he didn't use a lot of magic was he likely understood that, I'm in bad shape. I can't go toe-to-toe with this guy on a magical battle. But if I can get close to him, I can fuck him up. Because I know Kali. And it was a simple thing. He just did an arm lock, just locked their arm, brace him up, and then he threw him down and broke his arm. And dislocated his shoulder. He essentially snapped his bicep and then yanked his shoulder out of the socket. He wasn't playing around. That's some actual painful stuff. And Rennie did say, she could almost imagine hearing the bone snap. All the while I was dreaming up that scene and writing it, I could hear the bone breaking. I could hear Frankie screaming. I could hear all that stuff, It was just like, yeah, Kerry's going to hurt him. Kerry is going to hurt him bad. Kerry has told his parents, I'm not something you should be afraid of. I'm not someone you should be worried about. And then he goes into this scene and is like, yeah, I'm the one who knocks, bitch. And he fucked Frankie up. Yeah, he did not care. Broken arm, broken ribs, burnt. I don't care. I'm gonna jack you, dude. And Kerry was wise enough to know he had about a minute to 2 minutes to get that done. And yeah, that's why he used the time spell so he could get across. He didn't want to have to dodge crap that Frankie was throwing at him. Because the alternative would have been for Kerry to run across at normal speed and throw up a shield to deflect whatever spells were coming his way, and there was always the possibility he'd screw that up. The best thing to do was, I've been experimenting with that suit time spell for a while, so let's give it a run, get up close to him, snap, snap. And you'll find out in the scene I'm working on now, it's Kerry, Annie, Ravina, and Nadine all talking about what could happen to Kerry when he's out on the race course. And Kerry will make the comment that Frankie should be lucky because one of the things he could have done that would have actually been pretty easy for him to do, because Annie and he seem to have this one down pretty quick, is to have created a lightning effect and turn it into one of those lightning swords, or, let's call it what it is. He's making a lightsaber. And he says, I could have just hacked his arm off. he just went full Jedi Knight and, you know, took his arm off. And Coraline will thank him for not doing that because they could get his arm reattached, but it's just a hassle. Yeah, but that's the thing, you know, if Carrie had really wanted to get it over with fast, I mean, even faster than what he did, he could have just ran up there with a lightsaber in his hand, you know, whack, took Frankie's arm off. Whoa. They're arranging the chairs here. They're all made of metal, so. And now I have my mermaid story done, so I'm done for Mermaid. And that story ended up being 27,650 words. That's a big story. And I wrote it all in 31 days. I mean, essentially, I took 2 days off. I didn't get the last part published until the 3rd. So I actually took 2 days off. I wanted to get it done on the 31st, and I just couldn't. A lot of that had to do with the fact that I was skating. Whoops. But I really liked the story. I mean, I could go through and do an edit on it and then just sell it for like 99 cents. And I need to ask a couple of people if they'd be willing to do a cover for me. Maybe for cheap, maybe, you know, give them a couple of $100 and see if they'll do a quick cover for me. And then just, you know, put it up and sell it and see how it goes. I mean, it was a nice little experiment, and it was kind of like, I guess you could say that was kind of like my Camp Nano for July. You know, 31 days, 27, almost 28,000 words. That's the best writing I've done in quite some time, in that I was able to get that all out, and I made that up as I went along. I mean, towards the end there, I was already thinking about where the story was going to go. But still, I started out with no pre-planned concept. It was just 31 chapter scenes, 31 scenes, and boom, you know, there it was. It was done. So yes, I can pants things when I have to. Don't always, but I can if needed. And it was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed writing it. I actually know what I want the sequel to be if I'm still writing come around next Mermaid. I can actually continue the story. I know where I want that story to go, so there you go. But it was kind of a nice diversion, because I needed to actually kind of clear my mind and get away from basically what I've been working on for the last 4 years. Actually working on for about, 5 years now. 5 years now. And that wears you out. And you can see that last night, a couple of nights ago, was it Saturday night or last night? It must have been last night. I'll have to go back and check. I actually hit 175,000 words in a novel. It was last night. I hit 175,000 words. It had been almost 2 months since I hit 150,000, which means it took 2 months to hit, to write 25,000 words. Well, I mean, let's face it, 12,500 words a month, that's still really good. That's like, 3,000 words a week. But but that's not what I used to do. I used to do 20,000 words in a month. So to be able to do 27,006 in, just 31 days, I consider that a good accomplishment. I'm happy with that. It made me feel like a writer again. Sometimes you start plotting through these things and you begin wondering, am I really doing anything worthwhile? And then you sit down and you say, I'm just going to go on a little diversion here for a month and write a story. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, yeah, I can do this. And I still have the talent, I still have the skills. So there you go. And let's hope we see that published. Let's hope. I could use something published right now. I really could. So let's see. Indiana, roller derby, novel, Carrie beating the shit out of Frankie, mermaids, bad body image. I think I've covered just about everything today, and yeah, I may actually do another video before the end of the week. Whether I'll do it here or not, I don't know. But I like doing videos. I like getting them out. This is a nice environment. Not that I don't like our little amps back in Harrisburg, but this is a nice environment. It's nice to get out and do your writing at a coffee shop or a small cafe. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are a writer, grab your computer, grab your typewriter if you got one. Head out. Plug your phones into the jack and listen to some music and just, crank off 500 words or something. Trust me, you really get focused when you're out in public. Simply because you have to get focused. And it's also, you're getting into an environment that's different to what you're used to writing in and day out. If you're at the same table every day, that brings about burnout as well, because it's sort of like going to your work cubicle. So getting out in public, I've always encouraged it. I really need to do it more myself. And it is a good thing. It really is a lot of fun to just kind of like pull that little world in around you and get focused, get laser-like on your work. I remember when I used to write at Panera all the time, and I would just block out everything else. I'd have my earbuds in, be listening to music. I'd have the flow going. And it really does work. And it's something that you should try. If you write, if you blog. I know all of you are watching us blog. Damn near all of you. And it's something you should try. Take your laptop out and go do this. If you don't have a laptop, can't haul your computer down, take a notepad and just scribble some things down. You might be surprised. You might really be surprised at how it gets the creative juices going. Plus, you'll feel like a real writer. You will. You'll actually get that feeling of like, this must be how Hemingway felt when he was sitting on the West Bank, drinking espresso while working on one of his novels. No, Hemingway was probably downing shots of bourbon. But that's beside the point. A lot of writers have done this, so, join the club. Let me see. Well, I think I'm almost done here. coming up on 29:42, so I'm going to hit 30 minutes. I'm going to try, and I should be back in Harrisburg later next week, and I should give you another video. Take care. Bye.